Hello everybody, it's Maikito. Everybody has had a good day and has had a great day and a great night. I honestly wasn't planning on making a video just because it's only a 3-game slate, and usually when it's a small slate like that, I usually don't find a lot of picks. I just thought I'll just take like a little break on that day and just wait till the next day. But just in case, I went through and tried to find some picks, and I still found some, and I found some that I feel like is enough to make a video. Obviously it's not as much as they usually would, and if I do find any, which I doubt, I'll put them in the pinned comment. But I just found some good enough for a video, so let's get straight into those. And the first one is Hugo Duro to go lower than 3 shots playing at home for Valencia, going up against Las Palmas. In 6 starts that he's had 3 or less, so he hasn't gone over his prop in 4 out of 6 games. And he's just really never been like a shooter, in the sense that he just doesn't, he's just not that guy, if you know what I mean. He relies on his teammates passing him the ball. He can't create his own chances, and even then, he'll only shoot if the opportunity is open. He won't really create and find his own space. He averaged 1.98 shots per 90 last season, so he averaged 2, and he went under in both games against Las Palmas last season. He took 1 shot in each of the games, so he wasn't even close to going over this prop, and he just doesn't stand out much as a player in general. Half of the shots that he's taken so far this season have been from corners, and Palmas are a team that hold a lot of possession, which means less opportunities for Valencia to get corners. Last season, when Palmas played at home, they had 73% of the ball, and Valencia had 0 corners. And when they played away, they still had 60% of the ball. Valencia had 6 corners, and even then, Duro only had 1 shot in that game. And teams that shoot a lot against Palmas are teams that can hold possession of the ball, but when they play each other, Palmas tends to have more possession of the ball, so I just don't expect Valencia to even shoot as much as they usually would. And Valencia so far have averaged 9 shots this season. They've averaged more at home. They've averaged 11.5 shots at home, but even then, I think they're underestimating Palmas because they are currently the worst team in the league, which is why this line is so high. But Valencia is right above them, second worst team in the league, and it's for a reason. They don't shoot a lot. Palmas are going to control the ball. I don't expect a lot of opportunities for them. And I think they're overestimating how many shots Valencia is going to take. And I think this is too high of a mark. So like Hugo Duro to go lower than 3 shots. And then the second prop that I found that I like is Ondrej Duda to go higher than 1.5 shots assisted playing at home for Hellas Verona, going up against Monza. He's gone over in 2 out of 3 home games. The only game where he went under was against Juventus, who's currently the best defense in the league. They've only conceded 1 goal this season in the league so far. And even in that game, he still managed 9 passes in the final third, 5 crosses, 6 long balls, and still took 2 corners. So Juventus were just a really good defensive team and locked down Hellas Verona. Didn't give him the opportunity to shoot, and his teammates just didn't shoot. So even then, he could have gone over, and he had the opportunities, but he was just playing against a great defense. But Monza is not that. Monza have allowed 13.9 shots on average this season. And even in one of the games, he went over with 2 against Napoli, another good defensive team. Hellas Verona only took 9 total shots, and he still went over with 2 shots. So if he can go over with 9 shots, I can easily expect him to go if they take 14, 15, 16 shots against Monza, and I can expect him to do that here. He takes set pieces. He loves to send a lot of through balls. He's good at sending through balls. He sends long balls. He does crosses. He crosses the ball a lot. So he's just a good playmaker, and that's what he tends to do when he plays. He's the center defensive midfielder that's more box to box, that's a playmaker, a deep line playmaker and stuff like that. And Monza, 1, they play wide, and 2, they play aggressive, so there's going to be plenty of defensive gaps that he can find against them, and he did that last season too. He went over in this prop in both games against them last season. He had 2 in each of the games because he was able to find those defensive gaps, and I think it's a good matchup, good history. He went over against them in both games, so I like this prop. I like Ondrej Duda to go higher than 1.5 shots assisted. Before I get into the money lines, if you guys could comment on the video, like the video as well, to just help the channel. It's completely free just to do that. Doesn't matter what you put in the comments, it just helps boost the video out to more people. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be notified as soon as these videos come out. And then if you are interested in supporting me just a little bit more, I do have the YouTube memberships. If you're interested in that, you get the plays out early before everyone else, just in case plays get bumped and taken off. It happens sometimes, so you're guaranteed to get the props. Again, never required. If you want to support the channel, you can do that as well. And then I have where I play my player props, underdog and PrizePicks, linked in the description. And then my money lines, I play my Fliff, and that's really just because that's the only one that's legal really in my state. So I have that linked in the description, and I just really appreciate I want to thank anybody who supports me in any way. The first money line play that I found that I like is under 5.5 cards for the Valencia and Palmas game. So far this season, this prop has gone under an 8 out of 9 Valencia games so far and 5 out of 9 for Las Palmas. They played each other twice last season. This prop went under in both of those games against each other. So it's not like they have a history of like playing aggressive against each other. It's not like they have bad blood from last season. This prop went under in both of those games, and even in those games, I believe there's only like 1 or 2 cards in each of those games. And so far this season, Valencia is ranked 15th out of 20th when it comes to fouls per match, while Palmas are 12th out of 20th. So they're both below average or really below average teams when it comes to how many fouls they commit per match. So it's not like they're like a super aggressive team or anything like that. And I think you're getting value here while they're valuing it like this is because they're both the worst teams in the division so far, so they expect it to be aggressive for each team to find points. But I just don't like 5.5 is just too high, honestly, and you're getting good value here. I expect the game to be slow, not a lot of opportunities. Palmas is going to have more possession of the ball, which means less chances for both teams to even go out there and like just tackle each other and just be aggressive. And Valencia had the least amount of cards last season. Out of all 20 teams, they had the least amount of cards. And Palmas were ranked 14th out of 20 when it comes to cards that they conceded last season. So both teams, it's not like this season and last season. They've never been that aggressive. They've always been below average or very below average. And I think you're getting good value here for a high mark here. So like under 5.5 cards for the Valencia Palmas game. And then when it comes to my second one, this is where I do my little slips. I've been doing great in those, and hopefully we can carry that on here. And for this one, you can get this at minus 155. And the first one is Hellas Verona to win or draw going up against Monza. First of all, this prop has hit for opposition for Monza in every single game this season. That's because Monza has yet to win a single game, and it's really due to their inability to score. They're not a good offensive team, and I do not expect Verona to lose, which is obviously what needs to happen here, especially at home. But Hellas Verona can score. They've been able to score. It's just been their leaky defense. Also, all they have to do is keep up, which they can, or just shut out Monza in general, which I believe they can again. Hellas Verona has scored in 6 out of 7 games so far this season. The only game where they didn't score was against Juventus, which is again the best defense in the league so far. They've only conceded 1 goal in like 7 or 8 games so far. So I don't blame them for not scoring there, but I expect them to score against Monza. This prop hit for the opposition last season when Monza played away in 14 out of 19 games. So even last season they were not a good away team, and Monza have conceded a goal in 7 out of 8 games that they've played so far this season. So I just like this prop. Monza's been playing really bad, and it's a good matchup for Verona to take advantage of. If they don't win, I don't expect them to lose, so I like Verona or draw against Monza. And then the second prop that I like is for there to be no penalties awarded in the Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace game. Forest have only conceded, which means they've only given away 1 penalty in 7 games so far, and Palace in those 7 games have yet to give the opposition a penalty, and both teams in those 7 games have only been awarded 1 penalty. So if you do the math, they have this prop has hit in 11 out of 14 games between both of those teams so far this season. And even last season, there is 38 games, and Nottingham Forest only gave away 4 penalties, and Palace only gave away 3. So they gave away one of the least, if not the least, amount of penalties than opposition the whole last season, and it's because they do not foul unnecessarily or aggressively in the box, which is good, which is what we want. It's not like they like the Valencia pick and Palmas pick. It's not like they have a history of awarding penalties. They are one of the least teams that are aggressive and give away penalties and stuff like that. And this prop hit in both games against each other last season, and even if you want to look at the season before that as well, this prop didn't hit or no penalty was awarded in both games against each other that season as well. So in the last 2 seasons against each other, there has been no penalty awarded. So it's good history between them. Again, there's not like there's any bad blood between them. They're going to be playing aggressive. I expect this game to be a little more slower as well. It's tended to be like that in the last 2 games last season as well. So I like this prop as well for no penalties to be awarded in the Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace game. As always, you can combine them, get it at minus 155 like me, or you can mix and match them, take whichever one you like, combine them into yours. But that's the 2 money line plays that I like for tomorrow. Thank you everybody for watching. For those that don't know, I also have a Discord linked in the description for those that want to join. It is completely free. It's not like a premium or anything like that. It's just for those that just want to join a good community about soccer, talk about their own slips, try to get opinions or give opinions on what you think is going to happen and stuff like that. People post their slips, talk about other sports. There's a good community I'm trying to build over there. So if you want to join that, it's completely free, linked in the description. But quickly going over last video's picks, we had the one money line slip. That one hit for us. We've been doing well in those. Fiorentina or draw against Lecce, they won. That one was easy. Atletico money line against Getafe, they were down, they came back and they won. And then the Man City money line against Wolves, they scored last minute of the game. So there was a pretty sweaty on 2 out of the 3 games, but either way, this the slip hit. And then player prop wise, when it came to the YouTube ones, went 2-1. Bulka, that one was free, higher than 2 saves hit. We had Barrios, 0.5 shots assisted. He ended with 3, so those 2 were easy. Sloboslai was very frustrating. He only ended with 1. He had a chance within like 5 minutes to go or something like that. He was about to shoot and he miscontrolled the ball and just gave it away, so that was frustrating. And then I had one added play and that one unfortunately missed. Savage higher than 2.5 saves. The opposition had 5 shots on target and he let 3 of them in. That one should have easily hit as well. He just needed 1 more save. He just had a bad game. So overall, not a bad day. Could have done better. Moneyline wise, we did great. Player prop wise went 2-2, 2-1 of the YouTube. So not a bad day. But hopefully we can do obviously better. Hopefully sweep. There's gonna obviously be a video tomorrow. There's gonna be a lot of Champions League games on Tuesday. So expect a video tomorrow. Could be a little later. I do have work. I work a little later. There will be a video. But since there's so many games to go through and I'm going to be home late, expect the video a little later than usual. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.